everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to draw this really cute leprechaun. So St. Patrick's Day is coming up pretty soon, so I thought, hey, why not? Let's get in the spirit and let's draw a leprechaun. So all you'll need is a piece of paper and a pencil and an eraser, and we'll get started. All right, so I'm going to take away my example and then we can do it together. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I have enough space. So I'm going to hold my paper nice and tall. It's going to be standing vertically, so it's nice and tall. And then next, I'm going to start with the face. I usually like to start with the face because that kind of lets me decide how big I need to make the body and the other accessories. So once I've got the head, I can kind of estimate the body, the size of the body. So in the center, I'm going to just zoom in a bit. I'm going to make a nice curvy U. So I just went in sort of the center of my page and I made a nice big curvy U. Now I don't want that to be too small because we're going to add details to the inside. That's going to be our leprechaun's face. Okay, so once I've got that U shape, I'm going to close it off. I'm going to create a nice curve on the top to connect the U into one shape. So this is going to be my leprechaun. I'm going to start adding his face just so you get an idea. So right in the center of the face, I'm going to make a nice round C. That's going to be his nose. Nice round C in the middle. And then underneath that, let's go ahead and put a smile. Little smile. You can put two little lines up if you'd like to give him a grin. So we've got the nose, we've got the mouth. Now on the sides of the nose, on the right side and the left side, we're going to draw two circles for the eyes. So I'm going to make a nice round circle on one side of the nose, and then I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. So I've got two circles for the eyes. Now I'm going to use the letter C to create two more layers in my eyes. So on this first circle, I'm going to go about halfway down and I'm going to make the letter C, just like that. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go down a little bit more and I'm going to make an even smaller C. So basically I'm creating 3 rings inside the eye. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, I'm going to go right here. I'm going to make the letter C and I'm going to connect it to the circle. And then I'm going to do it again, but slightly smaller with an inner circle. So this will be his eyes. We'll color the middle part in to give it a color, and then this part on the end will be black. We can color that in black right now with your pencil, and then you'll start to see it look a little bit better. All right, so now let's go ahead and add the eyebrows. We're going to make nice little rectangle-y shape on the top. We can make squiggles on the top to make it look like he's got bushy eyebrows. So I start to make a rectangle above the eye, but the top I make squiggles all the way to the end. So I've got a set of eyebrows above those eyes. Now I'm going to add a little bit of detail underneath his eyes. I'm going to add an oval on one side and an oval on the other side. And these are going to be his cheeks. I'm going to make those pink so it looks like he's blushing a little bit. All right, so we've got his head. Now let's go ahead and add his beard because that's going to be connected to the head. So I'm going to start on the left side and I'm going to make scallop lines. These lines that just repeat themselves. And they're not all the same size. Some are thin, some are wide. But I'm going to go all the way around to connect it to the other side of the U. So I'm going to keep going until it's all connected. So now I've created this nice beard. All right. Next, we're going to add his ears. So on the sides of the beard, I'm going to make two pointy ears. So I made a line up and then I curved it down, but I made sure there was a little bit of a point. And then I'm going to create a line right down the center. So that's going to be sort of like the inside of his ear. And then I'm going to repeat that on the other side. So I'm going to find this sort of right here at the top, and I'm going to create that nice curved pointy ear. And then I'm going to put that little line down the center just for some detail. So there we go. We've got his face. Next, we're going to create this nice wavy line. It looks like one side of a jelly bean. It looks like that. And it also looks like a really wonky letter M. You can look at it that way too. So on the side where we put those ears, I'm going to create a nice big wonky M from one ear all the way to the other ear. So this might take a little bit of practice, and don't worry if you don't get it the first time. It's a wonky shape, so it's not the easiest to draw. But if you start with a curve, bring it towards the center. I curve down like the M when it curves down, and then I curve back up. So I create this shape. That's going to be the brim of our leprechaun's hat. All right, so we're going to continue building on this hat. So I'm going to find the center, and then I'm going to create a nice big upside down U right in the center. I'm just going to create it this way, and it's going to be nice and big, and it'll be like that. Now, this is quite round. I actually would like it to be maybe a little bit more like of a square. So I'm going to make it a little bit wider on the top and then bring it down to give it that square sort of shape. But this is your leprechaun. You can make the hat any way you'd like. All right, so now we're going to add some details in the hat. I'm going to find the center, and I'm going to make a square right in the center. This is going to be the inside of his buckle. And then I'm going to copy that square just on the outside to create a bigger square. So I've got this small square and then a bigger one on the outside. Now on the side of this larger square, I'm going to make a line to the outside of the hat on one side, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other. And this is going to be like a ribbon that's going to be on the top. All right, let's keep on going. So we've got the top part done. Now we need some space for his body. So I'm going to zoom in. We're going to create the coat first because that's going to be coming off the side of his beard right here. So I'm going to start on the left side. I'm going to create a rectangle shape coming down, but I'm not going to go all the way up. I'm going to leave it a little bit open. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm going to create another rectangle shape, and this one is going to connect up. So it looks like the letter V or the number 7, but this is going to be one side of his arm coat. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. So I'm going to find the side of his beard. I'm going to start to make a rectangle down. But I'm not going to go all the way up to the beard. I'm going to stop before I get there, before I get too close. And then I'm going to start to make another rectangle. And this one is going to go up. So I've got one side of the jacket here, one side of the jacket there. All right, looking good so far. Now we're going to create a curved line right in between those two sleeves that we made. So on the lower half, I'm going to make a curved line all the way across to connect the two sides. All right, so we're going to have him wearing a bow tie. So for the bow tie, I'm going to go below his beard. I'm going to make a circle. And then I'm going to make one triangle on the right. It's sideways. It's a sideways triangle. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the left. I'm going to make that sideways triangle. And for added detail, I'm going to put one little line across the middle. And that's going to be a little bow tie. Now below the bow tie, we're going to make another circle for a button. And then we're going to keep building on that. So underneath the button, I'm going to create a triangle. And I'm not going to close it. I'm just going to make the top pointy part. Now on the side of that triangle, I'm going to make a line that goes back to the right side, the farthest right line. And I'm going to do the same thing on the left side. I'm going to stop at that point. I'm going to start at that point, and I'm going to go all the way across. So this is going to create a little vest right there. Now I'm also going to add a buckle to the center of his shirt or his pants. So what I want to do is underneath that triangle, I want to make a square. Not too big, not too small, but I want to leave enough room that I can make a bigger square around it. So this is going to be very similar to the one that we made on top of the hat. So we made a small square and then we made a bigger square around it. All right, now on the side of this, we are going to create a line that connects it to the jacket on one side. And we're going to do that again. Connect it to the right side. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to create two lines from the buckle to the side of the jacket. All right. Now, let's add his arms or his hands. So for the left hand, we're just going to make a nice sort of rounded shape because we're going to have him holding a clover, a four-leaf clover. And then for his right hand, we can make a curved line that goes in, out, and back. So this can be sort of like a little hand that's sort of cupped. Or if that's a little too tricky, you can also make a mitten, which is just one little hand, and then the bigger circle. So it's kind of like an M or a W with one little loop that's very small and one that's bigger. You can do that as well. Or you can also put a circle, just like you did on the other side. Whatever kind of hand you'd like to draw, go for it. All right, now we've got our hand. We're going to add his pants. So we're going to continue building on his nice little tuxedo he's got going on here. And so from the jacket, I'm going to make a nice curvy line. So I'm going to go out and in. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to start at the jacket. I'm going to make a curvy line that goes out and in. So it's very much like a wavy line. This is going to be his knee. That's going to be his other knee. Now in the center, underneath the buckle, I'm going to give it some space. I'm going to make a nice curved line, almost like a smiley face. And then I'm going to start to build out those legs. So I'm going to use some curved lines, a curved line to the left and a curved line to the right. And then I'm going to start to build down the legs. So I'm going to make a line that goes down and curves. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Make a line down and curve. So I've got these two leg shapes. If this curvy line deal is a little too tricky, you can just use pointy triangle tops, just like that. One on that side, one on that side, one on that side, and curve them. That will work just as well. If you want to try the curvy, go ahead and try the curvy. If it's too tricky, use those pointy knees instead. All right, now for the shoes are going to have that jelly bean shape again. Now remember, the hat had this sort of jelly bean shape, or you know, it kind of looks like a peanut shape, right? So it's kind of wavy. So the feet are going to have that same sort of shape. They're going to come down and then back up. So one foot there, and then we're going to come down and back up and another foot there. So I've got legs and feet all together. Now we're going to start to break that up so it looks like clothing instead of like he's wearing pajama pants or something silly. So right here by the knee, we're going to go below. We're going to make some stripes. 1, 2, let's do 3 stripes. 3 stripes on that side of the leg. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to find the knee. We're going to go slightly below it. And we're going to make 1, 2, 3 lines across. Now these are going to be his socks. So below the socks, we'll start getting into the shoe shape. We're going to make a line like this. Kind of looks like an H. So I'm going to start right there on that bottom sock line, and I'm going to make my H to the side. That's going to make one shoe over here. And I'm going to do the same thing over here, except on that side it's going to be a backward H. So I'm going to start at the sock, and I'm going to make an H that way. So look at that. So I've created shoes now with my socks. Now, a leprechaun can't wear just any shoes. He needs some shiny buckles on those. So let's do our little trick of making a square and then a bigger square around it on his shoes. So I'm going to make a square there, and then I'm going to make a bigger square around it. So he's going to have one buckle on that shoe. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to make a square, and then I'm going to trace it with a bigger square. And that will create 2 buckles, sort of a look. All right, so, you know, this is a good start, but I'm going to teach you how to draw a 4-leaf clover. So in his hand, I'm going to zoom in over here. Above it, I'm going to put a dot right above his hand. And on that dot, I'm going to create 1 heart. I'm going to go right next to it, create another heart. I'm going to continue building. I'm going to create another heart. Now, I'm kind of going off the page. That's okay if it happens to you too. And then I'm going to create a last heart. And inside of each heart, I'm going to create 1 little line that goes right up the center, but not all the way. And then I'm going to create a stick. So 2 lines coming down, and then I close them to create the stem of our 4-leaf clover. So there's 1 4-leaf clover. If you'd like to, you can also add one to his hat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of erase the corner of his hat, so that way I can put a 4-leaf clover there. So again, I'm going to find the center, make a circle. I'm going to make 1 heart on top, and I'm going to continue to build. I'm going to try to fit 3 on this one. So I'm going to do another one here, and then 1 more on the side. And then 2 little lines going down for the stem. And then we can put those little lines in the center. And if part of my hat still is, you know, missing, I can close it back up. So I can begin to draw back my hat so it looks like my hat is still there and my clover is on top. All right, so that's it. There is our awesome little leprechaun. I'll put my original back so you can see how I colored it. And I just made the background gold because oftentimes leprechauns love gold. So I hope you had fun. I hope you're staying safe. And I will see you next time. Keep on doodling, guys. Bye.